And I know you watching. So how does that feel? How does it feel? All right, y'all, we are back today with another story time video. As you guys can see in the title, you already know what today's story time is going to be about. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. You guys know at the end of every story time, I always give you guys a little lesson that I learned. No matter how many things have happened to me, I've always come out on the other side of things in a greater way. So I'm not even mad about it. So we are going to spill a little tea right now. We're going to do a little chit chat, a little shit talk or whatever, but let's go ahead and grab a snack and a drink. I already did my eyebrows. I already put a little powder and primer on, just some setting powder, just to make sure that I'm not so greasy, you already know. And if I did not tag it down below, baby, I'm using the Juvia's Place setting powder in the color Shortbread. It just does a good job getting you not so greasy or whatever, so yeah. So I'll leave all the links down below for you guys for today's video. And yeah, it's gonna be a good one, so come on. Alrighty, y'all, so today's story time is about how I got my lick back. So when I say I got my lick back, it's kind of like metaphorically or physically in real life type stuff. So you kind of have to get my drift when you watch the story time. Watch it all the way to the end to kind of see what I mean in this sense, because you know I'm gonna flap my gums a little bit because I always have to do that. But I always have to give you guys kind of like the background of this and you know how everything went. This story time kind of has a little bit of how I met my honey, my current girlfriend right now. But I think I'm gonna do a story time or like a Q&A, like not now, in future, like with my actual girlfriend, because y'all know it ain't gonna happen no time soon, just all I'm saying, you feel me? So, but I'm gonna add a little bit of that in today's story time because it kind of ties in together on how I got my lick back and all that kind of stuff. So you kind of see in this story time, I'm bringing you guys a little bit further back. So when I first met this entity, because you know, that's an entity, we don't even know that person anymore. When I first met this entity, it was about around like 2016, I think I told you guys, or 2017. It was like one of those damn years. Everything after that up until 2022 was just blur, right? When it came romantically or in a relationship wise, it was just blah and blur, right? So I think it was around 2016 or 2017 when I met this person. Now around the time I met this person, if you guys watch my other story times, I did mention to you guys that around that time I was talking to other people at that same time. So even though, again, remember, he was never my man, right? Yeah. So around that time, I was talking to other people, and then I so happened, you know, I met him at the club, and then I was starting to, you know, see him, talk to him, whatever. Obviously, I was still in Connecticut around this time, and this dude lived in the city. So around this time, I was actually going to community college, and I was taking prerequisites for nursing. I was taking a microbiology class. Now, when I was taking this class, you know me, I'm a very quiet girl. I don't really, you know, I don't really key. I'm a quiet girl when I don't know people. Like, that's a Capricorn thing. I'm not gonna just start talking to random people that I see. It's not my thing. Unless I feel comfortable, I vibe with the people, I'm listening to the atmosphere of the room, then I'm talking. You feel me? That's just how I am. I have to scan the room first, kind of feel the vibes before I try to overexpose myself or expose myself in general, right? So in this class, I happened to meet my girlfriend. Now, it was just like a random meet, like she was across the room, contact, we, you know, drew eyes in together, and then we became like kind of cool. Now, straight off the bat, I didn't really, when I first met her, I didn't think of anything romantically, but I kind of had like a little bit of a sense that she was looking at me in that way. Now, prior to me meeting my girlfriend, I had already been with like maybe like 2 girls, not like in a relationship wise, just kind of like a, you know, another person on my roster type stuff, right? So when I met her, it was like, we were like cool in class. Like she was in my class. We were both trying to do prerequisites for nursing. So it was kind of like, it wasn't something romantically that I was thinking about. Like there was no romance in my head. I just seemed like, you know, she's a cool girl, she's cute or whatever, and we're taking the same class, so let's just keep it friendship wise. Because at that point I was already talking to this dude, and I had like 2 other people that I had on my roster at that point, but I was kind of like not really messing around with them because I was messing around with this entity, right? So she's in my class, we kind of got cool, whatever, finished the semester off, and after school was done, we kind of became like a little bit more like friends. Like we literally did not stop talking after school. Like we were friends all the way past that semester and into the summertime, and then we started hanging out more. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I started hanging out with her a lot, and I was like, damn, like I might actually like this girl, like more than, you know, more than usual. Like I really didn't know this was gonna happen. Y'all cannot believe I was like, what the fuck, right? So I started to think to myself like, oh, I can actually kind of like, you know, she's cool, whatever, like, right? So again, I'm still talking to this dude and I'm talking to other people at the same time too, again, like I said, right? So as I'm talking to her, I kind of start catching like little feelings for her. And around that time, I wasn't kind of like I didn't really understand or really know what I was like looking for. Like I said to you guys, I had like that vision, like, or the way that people always made things seem like you had to be married to a man. You have to like, you know, finish school, find a man, he marries you, you guys have a family. And I felt like that was like kind of like hindering me from, you know, trying other things out because I had that mindset stuck in my head. So I had feelings for her and I was starting to get more feelings for her because we were spending more time together. And the thing about my friendship and my relationship with her is when I first met her, we were just friends. Like we were friends. Like she actually liked my company, I liked her company, not romantically, but just friends. So that was my first experience of meeting somebody like that. So it was just, my mind was so fucked up. So again, around that time, we ended up starting messing around and stuff like that, started to get kind of crazy, and I was catching like deeper feelings for her. But at that time, again, like I said to you, I was talking to this dude and I was talking to her. Again, he wasn't my man, right? So I was spending time with her a lot, and then like, you know, she eventually brought it up, like maybe like, you know, we should, you know, like pursue it, because like, you know, she had her own thing going on, and obviously I had my own thing going on with him, but she was willing to cut the person she was talking to off to be with me. And I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I don't know what it is, but I had it in my head to do the same thing. And again, I had no vision of being with a woman at that point. Like I felt like it was kind of, oh my God, how am I gonna explain this to everyone again? Those are my fears all the time, right? Even when I first started talking to her again, now that was my fear. Like, how am I gonna explain this to my mom? How am I gonna explain this to people? So back then I'm like, like, I don't know, but like, I do wanna pursue this. Like I can see myself with this person, right? But again, I had it in the back of my head, but like, what about this dude you got out here in the city? Like, you could pursue it with him, or you could pursue it with her. So at that time, I'm kind of like being pulled both ways. So it just kind of like really confused me at that point. So we still kept talking. I was, you know, I was hanging out with her constantly. I met her parents, like, and our parents just as friends. Like we weren't dating, like we were just friends, right? So, you know, things started to move. And like, let me tell you something. I'm not gonna lie, in lesbian land, things kind of move fast. So I think that was one reason why I kind of hesitated on her a lot, because I feel like lesbians, like, especially when they know what they want, they move very fast. And I think for me, it was just like really scary in the beginning because I never had someone that actually liked me. And when I say that, I'm saying that to be fucking completely honest. The same way y'all say in a heterosexual relationship, when you meet somebody, if the guy knows he wants to marry you, he'll marry you. It's the same thing in like the lesbian land. Like if like women know what they want, right? So if they want it, they're gonna go after it. So you kind of get that sense when I say that. So for me back then, it was really scary for me because I'm like, damn, like she's woo, like she's really putting me at like a like, you know, she really likes me, like, and I appreciate that because I really liked her too. And it was, like I said, it was just like it was like a really weird time for me because I'm trying to figure out, like, do I want to be with a girl? Like, how is this gonna look? And I already, like I said, I always cared about like, the image of it because, you know, like I just had it in my head that I was supposed to marry a man, have kids, like that was like how it was supposed to be. So I was more so going for what it was supposed to be instead of just doing what I wanted to do and what I felt like I needed to do, right? You learn that your 20s is a wild time, guys. I'm telling you, your 20s is a wild time. So, you know, I still kept in contact with her. We were hanging out, you know, because I was still in Connecticut that time, around that time. So we would hang out, you know, she would call me every day. We would speak to each other. So we kind of like, in theory, that was kind of like my girl back then, but not really. Because like we literally were kind of like on a relationship type level that it was actually more than what I was with the guy at that time. Like she was very, very like good at, you know, like being consistent with somebody. And let me tell you something, I would say this, like, you know how you always have like your honeymoon phase? The honeymoon phase won't die out if the person really likes you. And I can definitely say like, that is a real thing. Like I've been with my girlfriend for 2 years now and it's almost still fresh. It's still fresh. The feeling of freshness is still there. So, the person has to like you, right? Yeah. So again, we were contemplating. We actually talked about it, like, oh, I would leave this dude. I'll tell this dude, like, I don't want to talk to him anymore because I want to be with somebody else. Like, I was really on the verge of doing it because that's how much, like, my heart was in it. I was like, oh my God, I really, like, want to try to be with her, right? But again, that little scary girl in the back, not knowing what the repercussions would be like, if I go tell people, like, oh, I'm stepping out, I'm not following this dude, I'm going with this girl now. I don't know what it was back then. I just really cared about what people thought. That's what it is. I feel like back then I cared about what people thought. So I just said to myself, okay, like, I might not do this. So around this time, me and the entity went to, it was like around like July. Around July, me and the entity had gone to LA. And we were just there just to hang out for like, like the weekend, a couple days, got an Airbnb, we're going to the beach and stuff like that. So we just went to LA for like about like a couple of days. No, it was a long time. It was a week. It was a whole week. So we went there for a week. And on this week trip, I was still in contact with her. She was still messaging me. She was texting me. And like, if I could get like a call in with her when he was like not away, when he was away or something like that, I would call her and stuff like that. I remember this clear, and this is the day that things kind of went awry. So on this specific day, the dude had gone out to get some pizza or whatever, and I had like maybe like a good amount of time because I like saw how far the distance was from the Airbnb to this pizza place in LA. So I was like to myself, okay, I have enough free time right now. I can go ahead and call her, FaceTime her, so I can just chat with her and see her because I haven't seen her for like a while. And I was constantly seeing her, like every day, not every day, like every other day I saw her, and we FaceTime a lot, which again, she was so consistent. Like, she knew what the fuck she wanted, y'all. I'm telling y'all. So I had a couple of minutes and I was like, okay, let me FaceTime her. So I was in the shower, whatever, and I decided to FaceTime her in the bathroom because if I FaceTime her in the bathroom, if he was coming in, he wouldn't hear me or whatever like that. So I was like, okay, let me FaceTime her and I'll be able to hear him come through the door. So I'm in the bathroom and I'm talking to her. I FaceTimed her. And then maybe like 5 minutes later, he busts in the bathroom. And it's crazy because you're coming in with a pizza. Why you run into the bathroom? So I'm not sure if he was like listening to me or he was like at the door, like listening to the conversation I was having. But as soon as I heard him come in, I quickly hung up the phone, and she realized that, oh, he probably came in. That's why I hung up the phone. He came in there kind of weird or whatever, like almost like suspicious. But at the same time, like, you're not my man, right? So like, okay. So he came in kind of looking kind of a little suspicious or whatever. And I'm just kind of like, okay, like, alrighty. So that day, ate the pizza, whatever, got super stoned, like really bad stoned. And then I ended up falling asleep. Now, when you get like that eerie feeling, especially when you're sleeping. I don't know if anybody else has this experience. You get like this kind of feeling like, uh-oh, something is wrong. And I don't know what the hell it was. I know God woke me the fuck up, y'all. Woke me up. I'm sleeping in the bed. I get up out of the bed and it's pure silence. When I tell y'all silence, the first thing that I did was look for my phone. So I go and I'm looking for my phone and I don't see my phone. And again, guys, it's pure silence. So I get up and I walk to the living room, and then I see dude get up off the couch, and my phone's sitting on the couch, and he like dashes out the door. And I'm like, oh, and like before he dashed out the door, I'm like, oh, what's wrong? What's wrong? And he like dashes out the door. And I'm kind of like, okay. And then I look at my phone and I'm like, fuck. Like, oh, like, okay, like, damn, this dude just went through my fucking phone. Like, okay, like, all right, like, and again, very calm though, right? I said fucking, oh, damn, inside the house, right? But in my heart, I was like, okay, like, okay, all right. So, I decide to go ahead and follow him out the door. And at this point, guys, it's like 10, 11 o'clock LA time. So went outside. I saw him standing on the corner, like on the corner of the ledge where the Airbnb was at. And I'm like, okay, like, what's wrong? Like, I'm gonna ask a question. I don't know, a stupid ass question, right? But I'm gonna ask a fucking question, right? Because you over here acting like this. So what's the problem, right? So I'm like, what's wrong? And of course he goes, oh, you know, you talking to this girl, whatever, and stuff like that. And I think, you know what? I think when it comes to a man, that really hurts their manhood more when it's, especially when it's like a female. Because baby, that was his only attack about it. Oh, you talking to this girl, you sending her pictures of you texting her while we on this trip together and stuff like that. And honestly and truly, when that happened, y'all, I kid you guys, I just sat there like this. Like, okay, like, all right, like, okay. So at this point, he already went through my phone and all that kind of stuff, saw the text messages, saw the photos and all that kind of stuff. So there wasn't really anything for me to say because, I mean, you already see that I'm talking to somebody else, right? So like, what are you gonna do? Now at this point, I had already thought in my head that I'm gonna just let this dude know that, hey, I respect it if you don't want to talk to me anymore. Like, you know, I'm sorry about what happened or whatever. I'm sorry that it had to be, you know, like this or whatever, but I respect it if you decide not to talk to me. Now, this is me saying this to him, right? But I subconsciously in the back of my head, it's like saying, please just go. Like, I want him to be like to me, yeah, I'm good on you. And I'm only saying this to you guys because if it was the opposite, he would have been out the door. Like if it was the opposite and roles were reversed and I was talking to two people, in between two people, I would have just told him, yeah, you can go ahead and talk to them. I'm good. We don't have to do this. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I kind of lost like a little bit of respect for the dude because I'm literally giving you the free pass to just walk out the door right now and go about your business. Like I'm good. Like I respect it. I understand it. You're not cool with what I did or you're not cool with me talking to somebody else. That's fine. Like, I'm cool on that. Like, you can go. And I literally said it to him, like, all right, like, I respect it if this is not something you want to pursue anymore or whatever. Like, you can go. Like, I get it. I'm not gonna be heartbroken or mad or anything. I won't be mad with you, like, if that's what you decide. And again, I'm telling him this because I wanted him to say to me, yeah, I'm good on you. I really wanted it, y'all, because it would have made my decision much easier if he would have just said, yeah, I'm good on you. So then I could have just went and found my happiness, which is so sad to say, yo, because I was such a punk ass bitch back then. Like, I was such a punk. Like, I could have just freaking literally just told the dude, yeah, I'm not interested anymore. I'm talking to somebody else and I'm really interested in this person. That's all I had to say. That's all I had to say. I didn't have to go through the 6 years of hell with this person if I would have just ended it right there, right? But I didn't. And again, dude decides that, oh, it's okay. It's okay. Again, remember, the entity that I'm talking about and I'm dealing with is a narcissist. So pay attention to what I'm telling y'all. Because they're very crafty. This dude even starts crying, y'all. And when I tell y'all crying, I've only known this person for a couple of months now. You're crying this crazy and hard. It kind of made me feel a little bit weird. Because even after that, I never seen him cry about anything else. And you crying about this? But again, you know, after a while, when you realize, years later, I realized and analyzed, of course he would cry. When your meal ticket is about to walk out the door into the arms of the love of her life, of course you're going to cry, right? Y'all, this is crazy. So again, he starts crying and I'm just sitting there, guys. And I'm telling y'all, emotionless, just sitting there almost in disgust because like, are you serious? Like, again, I want you to tell me to go. Like, I want you to say, like, when we get back to New York, you go your way and I go, you know? Like, I was looking for him to say that, but it didn't come out that way. Instead, it was different. And again, my dumb ass thinking, like, at the same time, being disgusted and all, also thinking, like, oh, that's so sweet. Like, he's crying. Like, he really cares about me. But that's what narcissists do. The entire time, he's still talking to his ex-girlfriend, still fucking other bitches. But I'm sitting over here like, oh my God, you know? Crazy, right? But that's what a narcissist would do. They'll make it seem, they'll make you think like, oh my God, like I really care about you. If you cared about me that much and you really cried and wanted me that much, why was it that after that situation, when I actually committed to being along with you or being with you, it was hell? You did all that crying for what? You get what I'm saying? Y'all see what I mean? So I ended up blocking and deleting her from my phone. So I blocked her. She couldn't call me or text me or anything like that. But of course, I left her open on Instagram. And on Instagram, she's like DMing me like, what the fuck is going on? Like, you know, like confused because like we was just talking a few hours ago. So of course she's confused and stuff like that, which I understand. The way I went about that, which I can honestly admit, and I even apologized to her when we started talking again, I did not handle that situation great at all. And I'm telling y'all, the narcissist was making me like, was putting things into play and like, you know what I mean? Like, so I had to do all these rush things just to kind of like save face or whatever. It was just intense. And again, I did all that for what? I was treated like shit right after. Ain't that crazy? Ain't that fucking crazy? So I blocked her, deleted her. I ended up meeting up with her, obviously because I'm still living in Connecticut, so she comes to my house, and I meet up with her and we talk, and I tell her, you know, we gotta part ways and stuff like that. And she goes to me like, you know, we were both like fucking devastated. And then, you know, she told me like, you know, we could still be friends and stuff like that. But I knew in my heart of hearts that there was no way that I could be friends with her like that. Like, I had feelings for her, so there's no way that we could just be platonic friends or whatever. Like that just wasn't gonna happen, and I knew that. I was realistic AF about it. I was like, it's not gonna work. Like we actually had like a real thing. Like, it's not gonna fucking work. So I ended up not talking to her. Again, he made me block and delete her and made, you know, all this kind of stuff to make sure no precautions were up in the way, so I didn't do anything or whatever, trying to control me again, right? Because I was stupid back then, so of course, right? And I went along with the shit like a dummy. I know some of you guys are probably wondering why I decided to go with him versus her. And it's the stupidest reason, y'all. And I can't even understand why I did this. Because at this point, I was like almost all the way in with her against him, right? The only reason why I stayed and chose the dude over her is because he had a couple months more of time with me than I did with her. So just because I knew him for a couple of months more, to me it meant more to me. Like, oh, I could quote unquote trust this dude more. Oh, I spent more time with this dude. I should choose this dude, which is the stupidest. Yo, which is the craziest, stupidest thing ever. That's the only reason why I went with him. It's because of time. I felt like I had to honor the time and the loyalty that I had, because I was talking to him longer than I was talking to her. So the winter of 2021, I was like at the peak of my detachment, and I just was over it. Like, I felt like I had to give up so much for this dude. Like, I had to stop talking to people. I had to stop being friends with people because this guy was so fucking insecure. And I remember I told you guys in a couple story times back that my ex's mom was kind of like one of my good friends. Like, she was a nurse as well. Like, she hooked me up with so many jobs and opportunities before I started working as an actual nurse, and I appreciated her so much. So around that time during the season, I actually messaged her and said happy holidays and had a conversation with her, because why do I have to stop talking to people that I love while you sit around and you're talking to your ex, you're talking to all these people? Like, what? So at that point I started taking my power back, and I'm like, fuck that. I'm calling the people I want, I'm messaging the people I want. And around that time I ended up unblocking her on Instagram so that she could have access to my account, so she could go ahead and watch my stories and see what I'm doing. You know what I mean? Because like, why am I doing stuff like that to protect your feelings and your insecurity, when since day one you've been showing your ass out to me? I've just been so graceful to you. You know what I mean? So at that point, y'all, I was just kind of like, it is what it is. I'm doing what I gotta do, and I'm gonna talk to whoever I want to and conversate. And, you know, not give up things when nothing on he didn't sacrifice anything in the relationship. He didn't sacrifice a thing. I was constantly sacrificing to appease massa, or whatever that thing was. Right, yeah. So, after I let the trash out, around October, you guys know that I went to Thailand. So my whole thing has been to relive the trips that I've gone on with this person. Y'all know, I think I've already done maybe 3 of them. I've been back to Mexico with my honey. So I've redone 3 of the trips already, because I want to get back I've had great experiences on those trips, but I hated the person that I was with on those trips. So I did Thailand again in October of 2022. And this was fresh when I'm like a new, freshly single chick or whatever. Okay, I'm a new freshly single chick. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to Thailand. I'm gonna go ahead and redo this trip. Had such an amazing time, guys. Now before I left the trip, I wanted to kind of, this is me, and I don't know what it was. Like, girl, you just got out of a relationship. Like, why are you snooping around trying to see, you know, trying to look, right? But I did. So, and I don't even know what came across me that day. So that one day I was just kind of like, okay, It was a couple days before the trip, and I'm like, okay, like I want to see like what she's doing. Like I want to see like what her life is like. Like, is she married? Because I remember her saying, like right before I stopped talking to her, like 6 years ago, her saying that, you know, like she wanted to get married and stuff like that. Like, again, she was talking to somebody at that time, and obviously they're probably in a relationship. They were in a relationship. I assume they were in a relationship after. She was talking about like, you know, like she would eventually like to get married and stuff. So I was thinking like, oh, maybe like she got married. Maybe she found somebody that she really liked and got married or whatever. So me being nosy, I wanted to see. So you know what I did? I went and I followed her. So I was like, since I already, you know, lifted the veil back in 2021, the winter of 2021, I might as well just go in and see. Why not? It's not gonna hurt. And again, like I said to you guys, I low-key just wanted to see. I just wanted to see like how life treated her. Like, I'm gonna be honest, I wanted to see how life treated her because it did not treat me well. Like, when I went left way, it was hell. It was hell. So I wanted to see what happened with her. So I ended up following her when I was away, and before I went away to Thailand. And again, it was a couple of days. I didn't get any like hits or whatever, but I don't know. Like, I'm gonna be honest, I say this to her now, even when I stopped talking to her, I always knew in my heart that I would see her again. Like, and I know this sounds so cliche, so corny, but let me live my fairy tale, because my fairy tale is fucking real, dog. It's so real. Like, God does not play with when it comes to me. Like, my fairy tale is freaking real. Like, after I stopped talking to her, I always used to say, I'm gonna see her again. I don't know how, I don't know where, but I'm gonna meet up with this girl again. I'm gonna see this girl again. So, a couple days after I followed her, I'm in Thailand, and I get a message, and it's her. I get a message, and it's from her. And that was in 2022. It's 2025. All right, y'all, so this is the look. She came out super cute. Now, I had to get off camera and do the rest of it because y'all know I was jaw-jacking like crazy, just playing around. But I did go ahead and put my new favorite wig on from Amanda Hair. I'll leave a link down below in the video as well, too. So cute, y'all. Y'all know, this is not like my signature makeup look. I just added like a little bit of shadow. If there was any shadow, just be like a base look. But this is kind of how I like it. It's very cute, straight to the point, very simple. And y'all know this is my signature hairstyle. Like, this is middle part curls. That's me, period. I do straight hair, you know I mix it up, but this is like my signature look, and it just eats it up all the time, baby. We eat it up all the time over here. So hope you guys enjoyed today's story time, y'all. And like I said, me getting my lick back, babes, me getting my lick back is me getting into therapy, me getting healed, me finding love, and me finding happiness. That's me getting my lick back. And I know you're watching. So how does that feel? How does it feel?